Hey everyone, welcome to another exciting adventure of Javier in the Air. That's in the air, not on the air. So, welcome. I want to say hello to anybody who is new to watch my show. Welcome once again. This is my little corner of the internet where I talk to people when I can about things they're passionate about, give healthy tips and tricks about being over 50, and also we'll do some Zen Moment, and we'll also adventure into the world of spirits. This week is going to be beer, and I think we're going to have beer for the next couple of weeks. But always a different beer, always something different for you beer connoisseurs. Sit back and wait to the end to watch it. Thanks to the feedback and comments that I've been getting from people about the show. I constantly make tweaks to it, remove stuff, add stuff depending on what's going on. Constantly try to change the music as well. I got a compliment on that they like the music. Thank you. That is royalty-free music from Wondershare Filmora, the editing software that I use. And no, I'm not plugging them because they're paying me, because they're not paying me, that's for sure. We're going to go into our Trashy in the Hood, but before I do that, I wanted to hope that you saw the opening bit. Great little bit of music I found this morning. And that was the charcuterie board. So for those of you who are new or those of you who missed the episode, go back and check it out in the archives on YouTube under Javier in the Air. My handle there is Javier in the Air 01. Anyway, so I was out at the Moon Tower Brewery. I'm sorry, Cider Company, I should say, Moon Tower Cider Company. And I did an epoxy pouring class with a friend of mine, and we finally got our boards back. So I did a charcuterie board, and what you saw there in the beginning was the backside and then the top side of the charcuterie board that I did using black walnut, and then the two different epoxy colors that I used were Aztec Gold and something called Dragon's Breath. Now that I see it, I am not overly excited about the Dragon's Breath because it's pretty close to the Aztec Gold. Plus, if you notice, they always tell you to pour so that they hit the middle at the same time, and so then you get like a nice thing. But that never happens. Even the specific gravity is a little different, probably because of the color added, and so plus you have to make sure that your table that you're using is absolutely flat. Otherwise, what you have is that whichever side is uneven, the other color is going to encroach on it, and so you get something a little bit different. So you saw mine there. I like it, but I think the gold came a little bit overwhelming as opposed to the Dragon's Breath, so it looks like it's almost all Aztec Gold, which isn't bad. It's still great, and I like it. So, but I think I might go with two more contrasting colors next time. So that's going to be a little different. So if you're interested in doing an epoxy pour or anything like that, let me know. I think I might start doing, or actually I will start doing more of it as the summer comes along. And so it might need some help, and I also might need some people who want to do it with me. So if you're interested, let me know. Okay, so we're going to try to keep this to a lean 30 minutes, which I never do, almost never do. I've done it a couple times. So let's see what we can do. Let's go to, I did a lot of walking this week, so let's go to Trash in the Hood. Dark Frog Social Media presents Trash in the Hood, Week 39. Hey everybody, here is day 1 of Week 39. It's been a while since I've been down this route, so you see there's a ton of cigarette butts. I found 3 whole complete sets of gloves, a milk carton, soda cans, some plant boxes, to-go containers, and of course water bottles and crushed beer cans and that. Here's day 2. You see more cans. Interesting enough, 5 little gas canisters. They're all empty, but it was interesting that we found so many. More food stuff, of course, a ton of cigarette butts, and then empty poo bags. I don't take the full ones. That's on you. And so it's just amazing how much stuff was out there. A bunch of junk flyers too. This is day 4, and there you see again still the cigarette butts and a bunch of different bits of paper and plastic and a cigarette box and a foam little cushion, and then underneath all that are some magnetic strips that I found on the road. Like you cut them and then you put backing to them, and then they become magnets and stuff. This is day 5, so Friday, and a bunch of big old soggy sock and some empty liquor bottles. Not a lot of cigarettes. We were down by the park. They were having a family fun fit thing. So we just picked up what we could and kept moving. A lot of weed eater string stuff that for when they weed eat. So this was Saturday morning. This was our Java walk. A bunch of soda cans, a bunch of business cards that you see in the lower right hand corner, and paper and plastic and string and rubber, and the cigarette butts and a Ziploc bag and some more paper. It was just a crazy but still a nice little Java walk. Okay, so there was our trash in the hood. So take my glasses off because I keep getting the ring light. I can't position it in the place that's not showing a little ring on my glasses, so I thought it best to just take them off while I'm recording these segments. So that was Trash in the Hood. For those of you who may not know and who are new, welcome again. I do a walk through my neighborhood as many times as I can a week. Minimum, I'd say 3 on the. I try my best to do at least 3 days. Sometimes I get a lot more in. Like this past week, I got in 5. I was working from home, so I was able to go during lunch. And then our Saturday walk is always a Java walk out to Mojo's Coffee to get some coffee. We walk all the way out there and all the way back. It's a little bit close to 2 miles, maybe a little bit over it on that walk. So it's our longer walk for the week. And you see, so I hit all the streets that I can, and I want to thank people on nextdoor.com who actually sent me some messages to, if I wasn't aware, to be aware of the shootings that have gone on recently across the country, that have to do with people driving into the wrong driveway or knocking on the wrong door, or I can't remember what the third one was, in the parking lot where you open the wrong car door and you get hurt. Well, thank you for the messages. I appreciate that, and I also made them aware on Nextdoor, and like I'm making you aware here on my show, that I do not walk onto private property. I will stay on the sidewalks, which are public domain. I will stay on the street, which is a public street, and I will only pick trash off of the street, the sidewalk, and sometimes the grass on that little section that's between the sidewalk and the street. I will not pick up trash on anybody's private property. I will not go to their door. I will not knock on their door, nor will I get anything off of their driveway either. I think the closest I get to them maybe on a driveway is this far from the street, and if I can easily grab it while I'm walking down the street or on the sidewalk, I will do so. So I will stay away from anywhere near people's private property, because there's things that can happen, and I don't want that to happen. So rest assured, I am being not only staying aware, but I also do not go on people's private property. So there's a lot of things that are going on in this world, and I try my best so that I don't get any bullet holes. So there you go. But thank you for your concern. So now we're going to go into our Healthy After 50, and this has to do with staying, just again, it's an overall staying active. Dark Frog Social Media presents Healthy After 50. Hey everybody, welcome to Healthy After 50. So in this section we're going to talk about staying active, but it also ties into something else that I was talking about this weekend with some friends of mine and neighbors and all that. We were talking about sciatica. We were talking about how the person that we know has really bad sciatica, and so there's times when they are hunched over because they can't get fully upright when they get out of bed in the morning. So it's a real concern, especially for people after 50. Now there's times where people under 50 get it, but that usually has is related to some sort of sports injury or lifting injury or something like that. So more often than not, it's for people over the age of 50 as we all start to age and stiffen up. So what we want to try to do, and of course, so this person was given the prescription, so to speak, by her doctor to do basically some walking in the pool, some physical therapy that will probably involve some sort of aqua therapy as well, to in order to minimize the pain and also build up the muscles, and then everything around the sciatic nerve to try to keep bring the strength back, because this person does not have a lot of strength in their hips and their back, and so they're having issues with it. So that's the first thing, and I recommend trying to do everything you can. I know my brother Rob and other family members and friends try their best to always do a physical therapy component first before they do anything like a surgery. Now, of course, your doctor, and of course, you would go to a specialist doctor, not just your general practitioner, to start finding out what's wrong with you. In order for them to diagnose it better, you want to go to a specialist. So you want to go to either an orthopedic or you want to go to some sort of back specialist. So anyway, so they were given the therapy option first, and then either steroids or corticosteroids or something like that as a second level of treatment, and then finally there is the choice that has to be with surgery. So my feeling is you need to stay active all the time, and I lapse at times, and you're gonna lapse at times. If you're not someone who's always woken up every day and done a little bit of exercise, this is gonna come as a shock to your system. You need to try to stay active at all points. You need to walk if you can. If you walk and you walk well, maybe you should try jogging. Just a light jog. I'm not saying heavy. I'm not saying going out and jog 5 miles, but try jogging around your block. See how your knees feel. See how your hips feel. See how your feet feel. See how your back feels. And if all that feels good, maybe you want to try jogging around the block twice, or jogging around the block once, but 2 to 3 times a week. If you walk a mile a day, excellent. Try to start walking 1.25 miles. If you walk 1.5 miles a day, try to start walking 1.75 miles or 2 miles a day, and see where you can increase. Now, I'm not saying that you want to increase where you're like, I'm walking 20 miles a day and I can't get home because I'm 2 hours out because I forgot you need to go half and half. No, what I'm saying is that you need to increase your activity to what you are doing now. If you are always on the couch, you need to learn to start doing yoga or Tai Chi while you're watching TV. Even just doing some squats with chair assisted, which I'll start showing some exercises in the upcoming weeks as well. But you need to maintain your physical body so that the rest of it flows. That also has to do, unfortunately, with people who are struggling sometimes with depression. One of the things that they talk about is increased activity. I'm not saying go out and do a poet night and get in front of 100 people. If that's not your thing, then you don't want to do it. I'm talking about getting out and walking around your nearby park, getting around and walking around your neighborhood like I do. You get to meet a lot of people. I meet at least 1 to 2 people every week that stop me, and we talk a little bit about picking up trash, and we talk a little bit about the neighborhood and that sort of thing. And they don't know me, I don't know them, but it's great to get out there and do that. So the thing about staying active is that you need to find something that works for you and then do it. And then once you start doing that and it becomes a habit, which it takes about 3 weeks for something to become a habit, and it only takes 3 minutes to break, so you have to keep that habit going. Something that will make sure that you're active. If you have younger children and you're in your 50s already, hey, first of all, I'm proud of you. And second of all, you're going to have to try to be active to maintain activity with them so that they don't think of you as my dad, who always sat on the couch and never did anything with us, or my mom who just sat out on the porch and would just yell at us and would never get out and be active with us because she couldn't. Now, I'm not talking about people that actually have physical ailments that don't allow them to move around. They already have the ailments. They're perhaps, confined to a wheelchair or something like that. But even if you're in a wheelchair, you can stay active. You can lift weights. You want to make sure your upper body remains physically as strong as you can the older you get, because getting in that out of that chair is not fun, and it's not easy, and you need to make sure that you're able to do that unassisted so that you can get somewhere if there's an emergency. One of the things that I'm going to bring back to my exercise regimen is just simply laying on the floor and trying to get off the floor with using one hand or less. So the ideal is to try to be able to get off the floor without putting your hands on the floor, and just being able to, with your core body strength, be able to get off the floor. And I'll show that in the upcoming weeks as well. So the problem is we need to stay active, especially in this society where sedentary life is really the thing that happens. We need to get out there and stay active. For my friends who have the sciatic issue, they're being told that, because what the worst case scenario winds up being surgery. So do you really want to do that? I myself, and I'm bad at it. I'm not up on the pulpit trying to preach because I know and I do it all. No, I'm horrible at trying to keep things as far as physical activity goes, as far as habits concerned. I lose them all the time and then I have to gain them back. All I'm saying is that you need to stay active, because worst case scenario can be no activity at all, inactivity, where you're stuck and now you're at a point where you can't even begin light exercise because you can't even move, or surgery. And I myself rather be pained and in pain while exercising than being cut open. So let's get out there and stay active, everyone. Thanks a lot. I guess I can get this close and keep the glasses on without the ring light, but then you get to see my monitor and everything. So I'll go back to no glasses, but I want to make sure that there's a difference between the segment you just saw and me speaking again. So that was our Healthy After 50, which I've gotten some good responses on. If you have any comments, suggestions, or feedback of negative or positive, I'll take any of it. Reach out to me either via the YouTube channel, Javier In The Air. Search for my handle, Javier In The Air 01. Or you can also reach me on Facebook or Instagram. I think even on TikTok. I posted something the other day. I didn't realize that I had TikTok, but I guess I do. Not the Bluebird. I don't do the Bluebird. It's not Bluebird Happiness for me, so I don't go on that one. But just about everywhere else you can get a hold of me. If you have my number, text me. Or call me. If you have any other way to get a hold of me, get a hold of me. So I appreciate everyone's feedback, and I will continue to listen, or at least read the feedback, and then make plans accordingly if I feel like were good. And a lot of them are good, so I do mention them here. I don't usually mention people by name because I'm not sure whether they want to be on the show or not, but I do talk about them. Now, the ones I do talk about, I've been on the show quite a bit, and they'll be coming back as we go through the year. Okay, so let's now go to our Zen Moment. This one's a little bit different. I'm going to keep the sound on this one with probably maybe just a little bit of music in the background, because we had a really hardcore, very electrified storm the other day. And so I'm going to show you the front of my house, and then I'm going to show you the back of the house as I was watching the rain, which I really like listening to the rain, but this one was I didn't stay out as long as I wanted to because lightning was really hitting close. I live close to two different power lines that come across, like two houses on that side and maybe three streets down that way, two streets that way. So I get to see a good show during every electrical storm. So let's check it out. Okay, so that was an interesting evening. I think the rain only lasted about 3 hours, but no, I'm sorry, it was about 6 hours, but 3 hours of it was really, really intense, and like you saw there in the video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about any section, specifically Zen Moment, if there's something you'd like to see. I sometimes I just use stock media. Sometimes I try to go out, and if I see something I find really interesting, I will record it so then I can use that for my background. And a lot of times we do have poems from Jay Anderson, so you can listen to that as well. So now I'm cutting it short. I'm trying to go as quick as I can because I'm still trying to keep it under 30, and I got about 6.5 minutes left. So time to have our spirit times. Dark Frog Social Media presents Spirit Time. This week, Viva Los Vaqueros by False Idol. Okay, so welcome to Spirit Time. So I want to thank, let's just say M, let's just call him M, for asking about the glassware that I use. And he noticed that I seem to use the same glassware all the time. So I'm going to try to change it up now and bring up some old labeled glasses of different types of beers I've had over the years that gave me their signature glass, or a signature glass for that brewery. So I have lots that I did back in Atlanta well over 11, 12 years ago, some even older than that. I didn't break them. And so this is one from when I was in Atlanta. This was a beer I'd never heard of. It's well known now. This is Lagunitas. This is their largemouth, uh, glass. As you can see, there's a little dog on the front for their Lagunitas. But today we will be drinking Viva Los Vaqueros. Viva Los Vaqueros from False Idol. This is a Mexican lager, 4.8%. Um, and it is out of North Richland Hills, Texas. So, North Richland Hills, Texas, that's False Idol Brewery. And it's a very interesting little beer. It's Mexican lager, of course. And there you see, uh, oh, I totally forgot it. Yosemite Sam. Thank you very much for my memory finally kicking in. False Idol, Viva Los Vaqueros. This is a Mexican lager. So Mexican lagers are usually not very high when it comes to ABV. It's more about the taste, and it's more about the feel of the beer itself. So here we go. See where I can get it. Nice light yellow in color, which is to be expected for a Mexican lager, which is also to be expected for a light ABV. I've had a couple of Mexican lagers on the show before. I had them on the 100 Days of Beers. So let's see what we're going to get for it. Here's the look of it, and here we go. So there's not much of a hop smell, or it's not flavored with anything extra. So what you get is really a light bit of hop smell to it, but it's not very strong. It's not overpowering, which it shouldn't be because again, it's a lower ABV. So for those of you who are not into heavy dark beers or really strong hoppy beers, like an IPA or a double IPA or a triple or stuff like that, you can. This is a great starter beer. I'm not trying anybody. Not telling people to get started drinking if you're not drinking. If you don't want to drink, that's fine. And if you have an alcoholic problem, please take care of it. Don't listen to me on what to drink. For sure, get some help. Thank you. But for those who do drink in moderation, this is a nice little beer that if you like drinking but you haven't really gotten into beers yet, first I recommend you go to the boutique and talk to Scott and Jana. They will get you going and they'll start you off on something light. They're not going to hit you with the stout or anything like that may be too a little bit too strong as far as perhaps the alcohol and also the hops and stuff like that. I would really believe that they're going to start you on something lighter, that's not your normal national brands, which we won't go into. This is a local brewery as far as Texas go. Local to me, it's close to Dallas, but It's light. It's actually quite refreshing because I keep this pretty cold. Um, So if you're into Mexican lagers and you're into the lighter side of beers, which by no means I'm not insulting, I like my light beer from time to time, and this is actually one that I could see myself sitting down as a starter beer for the night, or something where we're having something light like maybe a fish or chicken on the grill, something like that. Or even if I'm on my real somewhat fasting days where I'm just having a salad, I can see myself having a lighter beer such as this. So, Viva Los Vaqueros. I am going False Idol out of North Richland Hills, Texas. I am going to give you for as far as these beers go, I'm going to give this a 7.5 thumbs up out of 10. So that is really good. And if False Idol, you're watching this and you'd like to send me any more of or send me your beers that you'd like me to get on my show, by all means, just reach out to me and I'll tell you how to get it to me. So really good. Viva Los Vaqueros, False Idol Brewery, North Richland Hills, Texas. Thanks a lot. And I did it. So the credits don't count. So we'll be about 29 and a half minutes by the time I finish this part. So I kept it a nice clean under 30. I want to thank everybody for watching the show. Thank False Idol for allowing me to drink the beer, which they didn't really have a choice because I bought it. I'd like to thank the Brewtique for once again I am back to getting beer from them. It's been a while because I was doing other things and trying out different alcohols, but now that I have beer from the Brewtique, thanks again, guys, for being out there, being open, and being able to allow me and my brother to go out there and taste your wares. If you're in the Cedar Park, Austin area, I highly recommend going to the Boutique. Next week they're doing a mural painting. They like to clear off their wall and then they bring in a local artist who or local artists who paint a mural. So if you have a chance, get out there. They're actually having some food, they're having some drawings, and they'll have a great time. In middle of May, there's going to be the Be the Light Craft Fair, which is going to be right down the road from me. So I'll be filming at that as well. I'm going to try to get Crazy Stacy here. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I brought a little joy or laughter or even sneering comments into your life today. So have a great week, and I will see y'all again next week. Thanks a lot.